So some people will ask, if you say to them that you would like to go back to Jamaica, the first question they'll ask you is, why would you go back to that place that is so riddled with crime? Why would you go back to that place? And yes, a couple of years ago, or during COVID or after COVID, and it was after COVID or during COVID that I started my channel. And yes, you go on the channel and you see so many stories about the gruesomeness of the killings in Jamaica. Horrific. The overkilling, they will shot somebody and they'll spend 15 rounds on that body, like they want to make sure that the body is dead. And so when you talk about going home, people turn up their nose and them, never, I'm not going back to that place, never. So then you start questioning yourself, like, what's going on in your head? You've been out of the country for 40 years. You've spent more time here in America than you spent there. Why would you go back? Would you go back? So now I started putting things together because my husband always wanted to go back. And I started putting things together and I said, I remembered this morning somebody shared a video with me with some guy talking about the 10 like worst places for murders or whatever it was. And Jamaica, he had Jamaica as number 5. So a lot of times I watch these little shorts and I usually go straight to the comments after I listen to something or watch something. And I went straight to the comments and right away, just understanding this, English doesn't tell you where the person comes from. Written English form doesn't identify where people are from. And so I'm reading in the comments and every one of the responses said, wait a minute, you didn't add the USA. What happened to the old US of A? Wait a minute, you left out Mexico and the old USA, because USA is number 1. And there were so many comments that talked about the US of A. But nobody would say, don't go to America because it's so bloody. Everybody wants to come to America. And so once I watched that and I was sitting at my desk for a moment and I started remembering years. I remember when Gilbert happened. I remembered when Gilbert happened because I lived in New York then, and my sister and my brother, we were all, our grandfather was there, and we had family there, and we were all wondering. So we were glued to the television screens because communication was cut off, and so we couldn't make connections or anything. So we were just watching and waiting to see a glimpse of of Trelawney somewhere, to see what happened and how badly it happened. And as you watch the news broadcast, you see over and over again, not the decent communities, but they would show people who built their homes on riverbanks and in very flood-prone areas, and they got washed away, and the zinc houses and the structures that were not built to withstand any form of disaster. And that's all was filling the media. You turn to this channel, channel 4, channel 5, channel. You change the channels, and that's all they were bringing forth. Those homes that were washed away and how devastating it was. And nobody got to saw inland where the houses were not touched. And so again, it all depends on who is doing the surveys or broadcasting the news or doing the videos on YouTube, and it all depends on who is behind that camera or behind the microphone. And so for years after COVID, as I sat and I watched and I listened and I watched, I didn't take the time to say, well, it might be one situation, but so many people reporting it. So you're seeing all these headlines, and you just think that Jamaica, my God, Jamaica. And coupled with all of those who said, never go back to me, master, me know that never go back in another place there. But I went back there. And we went back last year, March, I think it was, my daughter and I went. And we went to the supermarket. And we went out in the country area side. I went up to visit the soup kitchen, because at the time, my manager was only just cooking in her living room / dining room, everything, room, kitchen. But we had broken the ground, and she had a space behind there. We said we'd build a kitchen there, so people, the elderly in the community, the poor and the needy ones, would get a hot meal. And so that was happening. They were digging out the foundation. And so we went up there and people were living. People were living. We went into Montego Bay. People were moving around. People were doing what they do. My aunt, she rode on the bus from Saplamar. She came up and brought us fish and, oh my God, rosemary and all of that. And we all went up to the soup kitchen, and when we came back, she took the bus back to Saplamar. And I'm looking, my aunt lives by herself, my other aunt lives by herself in Ironshore. But everybody was living. My aunt in Ironshore, she has a school. I mean, she was up and about. But when the news are reported, it just seems like, it just seems different. And then early this year, I went back by myself, and I spent 2 whole weeks and 2 days. And we went to the supermarket. We went into Montego Bay, walked the streets of Montego Bay. We bought sugar cane on the sidewalk. We were there. We went to Tasty Patties, because that's my favorite patty. And Sister Dawkins, she bought the other patty. That's the big thing down there. Didn't like it at all. It was too thick. But Tasty was so flaky, the same old-fashioned Tasty. Might not have been peppery and seasoned like way back when, but I like them because they're not too flowery. But we were doing all of that. And then when we went to where we were staying, we were out in the backyard. We were, my manager, Bev Brown, was with us up there. She was washing her little clothes, putting it out. And I would get nervous. I said, lock the door. Don't leave that back door open. Lock the door. They're like, Miss Bev, it's okay. We sat on the veranda. We see people going about their business. And then it takes me to Dee Mwanga, who is from Kenya. And who is in Jamaica, who claims Jamaica is her home now, and hooked up with Keno Life in Jamaica. And she stays in Trenchtown, and she call it her ghetto. But that's where she stays. This is a young lady with money. She's a high influencer, travels around the world, 49 countries. And she's in Trenchtown, for God's sake. She's getting up, getting on a taxi, going downtown, going to the bank, buying her stuff, getting a taxi, coming back home to Trenchtown. And she's living and she's enjoying it. And she loves Jamaica. Because Jamaica is beautiful and the people are good. You know, they have a good vibe. But here we are in this country where people don't even appreciate you for who you are. People don't even, like, I say sometimes, you're speaking and people want to tell you you have an accent. The same accent that they're begging you to. Oh my God, I just love the Jamaican language. I just love how the people talk. I just love it. Tell me. But yet, if you're going for a position, a bigger position, all of a sudden, oh, you're talking a little too fast. Oh. And while if you're in Jamaica, man, and you're holding up vibes, you chat how you want chat. And nobody not did ever tell you, say, me don't understand what you say. You get up and see people and say, walk on. Morning, man, how you doing? Neighbor, how are you? And neighbor are willing to wave back and say, hey, how are you? And neighbors will come out. I remember when I was there, and a young family across the street, and they have 3 children. And the young man, he came out one afternoon. I was on the veranda there, and he was just happy to talk to me. He built a thing around his house, and he had plans. And he said what he did, he put the plants in. He was explaining to me the whole thing. Don't even know his name. But he was willing to hold a conversation. And I remembered when I was leaving, we had extra sugar cane. And I saw Mom, because they would come down and at the stop sign, they would look if they see me out there, and they would say, hi, how are you, neighbor? And it feels good. Because in this big, beautiful America, people are too busy sometimes to even acknowledge that you're there. People are too busy to say good morning. People are too busy to respond when you say good morning. And so here we are in this little country, this little beautiful country, it has its issues. It has its issues of oppression. It has its issues of poverty. It has its issues of joblessness. It has its issues of young people with little or no resources who use their minds to get into mischievous things. It has its issues of people who feel like it's better me just sit at home because to get up and pay a taxi fare and do this and do that, and all them pay me a week time of 5,000. What me have left, me not nothing left. So they decide that it's better not to go. But is it only happening in Jamaica? Are these issues only in Jamaica? We have this big America that is supposed to be so wealthy, but yet the hunger is real here. Poverty is real here, right? Oppression in big block capitals are real here. And so, again, should I return to my beautiful island? Or should I listen to the hype about the crimes and the wicked acts that go on there and shun it? Should I? Or shouldn't I? Should I go back to where when I wake up in the morning and the sun beams in and you feel the warmth on your face, on your hands, on your body? It feels so good. And I'm not coughing and sneezing and going through all the motions. And the arthritis in my back doesn't flare up as often. I went home, I was able to cook, I was able to wash dishes, and I didn't have to lean in on the sink and give ease to any pain. We were out and about, we walked, we did things, and I didn't have to. So should I go back, or should I stay here where I suffered from the allergies, from the red eyes and the itchy eyes that produces a lot of stuff because I have to rub them and irritate them so much. Or deal with that bad sore throat I just had that took my voice away, that was so painful, so horrible. And I'm not saying I won't get a sore throat in Jamaica. But I'm just saying this was the first time I got one, and it wasn't a nice thing at all. It wasn't nice at all. So should I go back to where I could get a fresh mango from the tree? No sprays, no nothing, just nice and fresh. Where my neighbor can give me a breadfruit, or I might have my own breadfruit tree in my backyard. Where I know there are pears on the trees in the back. And we can plant our Jerusalem peas and enjoy it with dinner. What a nice pea to enjoy with rice and peas. Jerusalem peas, those little fine things that makes your rice and peas so, so, so refreshingly good. And then we have our Otaiti apples and star apples and sour sops and nace berries and June plums and hog plums and not hog plums, you know, the other ones look like hog plums, but they're nice and hard. And naturally ripe bananas. Should I go back to that? Or should I just be here? Where everything is being, every fruit that we like, fruits that we like from the Caribbean, has to be forced, has to be sprayed and shipped before they're ready. Because if they're ready, they're going to get mushy and people won't get their money's worth. So you really cannot enjoy a good fruit or deal with all the things that they put in, all the chemicals that they put in the foods and the preservatives that add the meat to your bones and has no taste, no flavor, no nothing. You have to keep adding stuff to give it flavor. Should I stay here where, as I said, people are so busy they don't even see you? And when you work hard, nobody acknowledges it because you are not, you know, a lot of people they don't like the Caribbean people because we work hard and we are high achievers. So that doesn't sit too well with some. So my people, my mind is made up. I like when I'm home and people say, hey, Miss Bev, they treat you like a queen, people know your name. And you might be in the yard, in the veranda, or even in the back sometimes, and people are walking on the road right out there, and they'll peek around the back and they see that's there, and they're calling out to you. And it feels good. Morning, Miss Bev. I say, hey, son, how are you? Hey, pumpkin, how are you? Everything all right? I say, yes. They say, yes, Miss Bev. And I say, okay, make it a good day now. It feels so good. And better yet when you're sitting on the veranda, when the sun goes down, and you sit in a chair, you put your foot up on the little thing where the grill is, and they pass and they see somebody on the veranda, and they make out it's you, and they're calling out to you. And it makes your heart feel good inside. So talk to me, people. Tell me, what do you think? Tell me what you think of Jamaica. Jamaica has its issues like everywhere else. Crime is there, but crime is there just like everywhere else. I notice like when there's an earthquake and people, yes, God talking to them, and God doesn't. But when there's an earthquake in America, nobody's saying, oh, God is talking to you. There's always going to be earthquakes as long as we have nature. There's always going to be earthquakes. There are always going to be hurricanes and different storms. They're always going to be there. Because different things happen in the atmosphere that makes things happen. So I know people put everything in to make like God is a wicked God and God isn't. But listen, nature is nature. And if you're living at a space that these things happen, it's going to happen. It's not because of wickedness or goodness. It's not because of richness or poorness. It just happens because it's a natural occurrence. So I just say to the people who are frustrated and don't know what to do and how to do it, those young people who are trying to get money the quick way, that if you look at it, you look at the big picture, you take a moment and do a restock, right? Just do an evaluation, and you'll see that with all of these things, you buy the cars and you can't read and you can't do anything. All you can do is hold the car on the road, and you see the devastation that when you cannot navigate well, you cannot read signs, you get into accidents that take lives unnecessarily. When you scam the monies and you could buy this and buy that and you don't know the value of things, then it becomes a huge problem. And you start killing one another because somebody's overstepped their boundaries, somebody got money from the person you are scamming, and so much unnecessary pain and struggles. So do the reevaluation, guys, and look if it's worth it. Solomon, in all his greatness and his wisdom, he says, I had it all. I had concubines. I've had many transportations. I've had it all. And at the end of the day, it was just vanity and vexation of the spirit. And that's what's going on. So you buy the car and you can't even spell the car name. But you buy it and you have it and you're living large. And then something, the simplest of things happen. And what happens? People start getting killed. And so you send somebody to kill somebody. And now you have to be watching your back, because just like you sent somebody to kill somebody, somebody's going to send somebody to get you later. So why not just live in peace? Just live in peace. Be satisfied. Be humble. And just live and let others live. So Jamaica is a treasure. Yes, there are some rotten eggs, but it doesn't mean that the whole country should be looked upon as. So if I go home and something happens, I've always prayed to God for his mercy and for his guidance, his protection, and all I want to do is to go home and enjoy what is there. Just to have that peace of mind. Just to have the seasons changing and I'm not going through all sorts of unnecessaries. Just to go home and enjoy the trees because I'm not allergic to the pollen from those trees. Just to go home and know that in the winter time, it will get a little chilly, but there's no ice to navigate. There's no huge heating bill. But you could still walk outside in a t-shirt. You could still call to your neighbors and say, how are you? Because people will still be up and about. So my people, talk to me. Tell me what you think of Jamaica, that beautiful little island with so much resources, so many beauty spots, so much. God has blessed it tremendously. And yes, there are a few rotten apples in the bunch, and they make it hard and they make it look ugly from the outside. But those of you on the outside looking in, people are still living on the island. People are still building their beautiful homes and they're enjoying it. People are still planting their farms, and yeah, there are some that the people are stealing and doing, but there are still many who are building and enjoying the fruits of their labor. So I'm not going home to live any big style. I am not that kind of a person. Living in America here, I'm not a person who has to go to the mall and have to go do this and have to go get the latest person. I'm a very humble and simple person. There is no anything that anybody needs to think that they should tear down my door or my windows for, because it's not there. I give to the poor. I help the needy people. That's what I do. So I don't have anything stored up on this earth for thieves to break down my windows and my doors to come in and get. I try to be at peace with people, and that is what I want to go home and do. Mind my business and just eat my food. As D. Moang always said, just mind your business and eat your food. There's so much food to enjoy. So much to enjoy. I tell you, in Jamaica, you don't have to cook a pot every day, because if you love fruits, it's there. And you can fill your stomach up with your sweet sap, your naseberry, your watermelon, your cantaloupe. They have it there. You walk up to the market and you could get what you need, and you could go home and enjoy it. So today I just wanted to talk to us and to get our, for you to tell me what you think. Tell me when you say Jamaica, what comes to mind? How do you feel about it? Are you one of those who throw stones behind you and say never again? Or are you looking forward to returning to your home sweet home, where there are sugar canes waving their heads in the wind? There's so much. So much to be thankful for. So much to return. So much places to volunteer, a day here, a day there. I want to volunteer in the school that I used to teach at, if I could get there. So I always said I wanted to be close enough to the airport. So we're looking at Ocho Rios area in St. Anne, Runaway Bay, I don't know. In that area, to find space. And wherever it is that I end up, guys, I just want to have peace of mind and to just go forth and support people where I can. Again, financially, I'm not going to be there because I'm not working like before. But I can encourage somebody. I can read something to somebody. I can write a note for somebody. I can sit and talk with somebody. You all know how long-winded I am, right? My granny used to do it. She used to leave up at the house and go down to Miss Louise. And they would sit there and they would talk and talk and talk and talk. And let me tell you something. When they talk, they're not repeating a darn thing. They're just talking about new things and new things. And I got it from Granny. I just like, even with my daughter, we get on the phone hour, 2 hours. This one I talked to my daughter-in-law, an hour plus we're talking on the darn phone. I'm just talking. So I just needed to come out here and share with you guys. So talk to me in the comments, guys. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me how you feel about little Jamaica. If you have never visited Jamaica, please. It's a beautiful island. Check it out. There are safe places you can stay if you are afraid of the crimes and the things that are going. But consider this, that in America there are many crimes too. Mass killings. In America, you're sitting on trains or wherever, and people are threatening to blow up things and do things, and you don't know them. I've never done a thing to them. And in America, the racism is real and the oppression is real. And so, you have to figure out what it is. Do you go back to a home where people accept you? Or do you just keep working your behind off to maintain this house? I think it's easy to maintain this house. We have a central air conditioning, air conditioning that it jumps on right after we turn, maybe a few weeks after we turn off the heat. We have the heating system downstairs, and this house is huge. It's 3,800 square footage to heat, to cool. So you just know that my gas bill and my light bill is like interesting. I'm not going to say, I like to say interesting when I don't want to give numbers or don't want to talk about children and their bad behaviors. I would tell the teacher, he's just interesting or she's just interesting. So I've taught a lot of them. Instead of this talk about the kid, oh my God, the kid is so, I said, don't do that. Just say the kid is interesting. So it's a nicer word to use. And so a lot of them have been using it. Right? So to maintain, it's not easy. In the winter when the snow comes and my husband gets home from work at 11 and he's out there pushing the snow blower. Oh my God, the guy that comes to help us, sometimes he has to be at his job, getting rid of the snow before he can come. Sometimes 12 o'clock in the night, you hear him out there shoveling the sidewalk and the driveway, the walkways and the driveway for me. It's not easy. And so as you get older, if you have a choice, then why are you sitting here struggling and going through the motions? One of the things I never wanted happening is for me to fall on the ice out there. I was really, really afraid of that. And so, is this going to be my last? Is last year my last snow year? Or is this year going to be my last year in the snow? But let's just know that in life we have choices, right? So should I go home? Am I going to go home? Or am I just going to stay here in America? Sit inside, look out the window in the spring, just go crazy with pollen killing mine. Is that what I'm going to do? In the winter, I'm sitting looking at the ice because I don't want to go out there to fall in it. I'm just saying, what will it be? Am I going or am I not going? Talk to me in the comments, guys, and please subscribe to the channel. And this is your girl, Miss Bev. I totally appreciate all of you for supporting me over the years. Have taken me to 4,058 subscribers. I have six members, committed members. And I just want to say thanks to all of you, and just know that Miss Bev love all of you and appreciate all the support that you have given me over the years. Thank you. Continue to share the videos. Continue to talk to me in the videos. Leave your comments. And please encourage others to just join. I would make some changes to my things soon. You'll see that I'm going to make sure that my videos, I post my videos at the same time each day. I should have been doing that a long time ago, and I think I would have been doing much better. because there are times when I'm dropping 3 videos in a day, and I know if you have seen one video already and you're busy, you're not going to sit there watching 3 videos. So I'm going to make it uniform. I think starting this weekend, I'm going to make sure I do the videos, I schedule them to come out at a certain time. So I'm going to look on the analytics and to see when most of you are on or are doing your thing, so that more of you can watch my videos and support me on this journey. I want to grow. I really want to grow. I want you guys to tell me topics to talk about, and so that we can grow. I'm hoping that soon I'll be able to do more little things in the kitchen, like making my fruit juices and stuff like that, that I'll be comfortable to just make sure like I have the space set up. And so it's just an easier thing to do. My kitchen counters are too busy because we cook a lot. I never bought a dishwasher. I just like to wash my dishes by hand. So we keep a thing on the counter to drain the dishes. Then we have the blend, the things. I didn't put them in any cupboards. And so my thing, the microwave is not mounted. I thought about it, but then just decided to do a countertop one. So now we do the videos, and the space is a little, you know. So I'm not excited at all times to just do a smoothie, or, you know, to just clear the space to do things like those. But soon, you tell me, soon I might be able to just do a video juicing some soursop, or some June plum and ginger, or some carrot and ginger. Oh, really? Well, maybe. I don't know. Take care, my people. Love, love, love to all of you. If you can't be careful, walk good, do good, live good. It's a good thing. Take care.